What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to High Crime, a show where I get way too stoned and talk about a fucked up serial killer.
Hi bitch, hi bitch, hi bitch, hi bitch. I do not sniff it or roll it. Nope. It do not drip when I pour it.
Welcome back to my channel. What if I started every video like that? Let's get to it. Before I get into anything, today's episode is beyond fucked up. It is mostly violence against children, so if that's not something you're into, join me next time. All right, let's get going. Today I have just some old stuff. We're gonna take one of these again. It is a sativa. It's Good News. Why do they make these so hard to open? Don't they want me to take their drugs? Got it. My dog is staring at me. What? And I just went on vacation, and of course I had to bring some drugs with me. And I threw some in a bag. They're my Kiva Camino sparkling pears. So I'm gonna take a half. Brisket. Shh. Mommy's filming. See you so soon. I don't have any snacks. Oh no. I just want my pickled chips. Okay. This framing will never be consistent, by the way. Okay. This guy's twisted, man. Like, what? Today we're going to be covering Albert Fish, aka the werewolf of Wisteria. That word tasted funny. Also known as the Boogeyman and the Gray Man, something weird fucking nicknames. What else? That's it. That's end of the episode. He was born Hamilton Fish in Washington, D.C. in 1870. That sounds right. His father was 43 years older than his mother. That's fucking gross. And he died when Albert was 5. Why did I say it like that? And why is none of this is funny? I can't know. Okay, you need to be professional. Seriously, this is outrageous. Okay, yeah, so he died, and him and his siblings went to live in an orphanage, and there Albert would receive regular beatings from his classmates? I don't know. From the other orphans and even the staff. So, but this is where he realized that when he was in pain, he was aroused. So he like linked sexual arousal with pain in his head and said, that's for me. So they would be beating the shit out of him and he would just pop a boner and and then they would make fun of that. So this kid can't catch a break. So he spent 4 years there at the orphanage until his mom got a job and could take them back. So that's nice. When he was 12, he started a relationship with a telegraph boy. Scandalous job to have. All telegraph boys are sluts. And this gentleman introduced Albert to the world of drinking urine and eating feces. And that is not a world / club I'd like to belong to. And he started to hang out at local bathhouses to watch young boys undress. Also, at some point he fell from a tree and had some head injuries, and he had seizures, and he had a stutter and would faint. Maybe, I don't know. Methinks there might be some frontal lobe damage. Am I right? Okay, so 1890, he lives in New York City with his mom, and he starts working as a painter and a wallpaper hanger. He claimed he became a male prostitute, but they can't find any proof of that, so I don't know what proof you need. And throughout this time, he was regularly molesting young children, and he would send inappropriate letters to women who would take ads out in the newspaper. Oh god, that's fucked up. 1898, Albert's mom arranged marries him to Aunt Mary. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but what matters is that she was 19. Ugh. And they had 6 children. But throughout their marriage, he was still having sex with men. He's a keeper. One of his friends took him to a wax museum. What friends does this guy have? He's got like friends. He's like chill. Anyway, this friend took him to the wax museum, and there Albert saw a model of a dissected penis. And that's where he became obsessed and fascinated with genital mutilation and castration. What? Castration. And for the rest of his dang life, he would stick needles up into his scrotum. When he was caught, they did an x-ray and they found like something like 20 plus needles in his scrot. Okay. At some point, he was arrested for embezzlement and went to prison, and during that time, he had sex with lots of men. When my hair is behind my ears, I look like a 90s sitcom mom. Wait. I'm 90s. If you believe. Is this how I look? And after his release, his kids said that he began acting odd. More odd, I guess. They caught him self-flagellating with a paddle with nails on it. Well, he started to regularly hear voices, and they were telling him to cut off little boys' penises. Or he claimed God was telling him to cut off little boys' penises. Someone was telling him to cut off little boys' penises. I don't want to say that anymore. His son found him on a hilltop with his arms outstretched, saying, "I am Christ." So, that's normal. I personally think it's all bullshit, and he's just making up religious mania so he doesn't look like such a fucking gross fucking child molesting piece of shit. What the fucking mosquito? Get the fuck out of here. And somewhere in here, he started to dabble in cannibalism. So he did a bunch of fucked up shit to lots of kids. And I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I will talk about one of them. And this is sort of the most well-known one. So this was in 1928. Edward Budd put an ad in the paper that said, like, "I'm looking for work." But Albert answered for some reason. I don't know why. And he went over to Edward's house, and he saw that he had a daughter and a son. Grace was the daughter. And she sat on his lap, and apparently he said that's when he knew he was going to eat her. So he went to his house. I think I said it 3 or 4 times. Wait, then came back a second time, and the second time he convinced her parents to let her go to a birthday party with him. And so he took her, and he took her to this abandoned house and murdered her, cut her up, and then ate her. Don't smile. So the police arrested some other guy, but 7 years later, Grace Budd's mom gets a letter from Albert Fish explaining everything he did. Everything. Luckily, Mrs. Budd couldn't read, but her son read it. And I can't, there is not enough therapy in the world to help that boy. He's done. That's it. After reading that letter, what the fuck is the point of going on? That's what I just read is wild. Should I read part of the letter? I don't know. Okay. On Sunday, June the 3rd, 1928, I called on you at 406 West 15th Street. Brought you pot, cheese, strawberries. We had lunch. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me. I made up my mind to eat her. I took her to an empty house in Westchester I had already picked out. When we got there, I told her to remain outside. She picked wildflowers. I went upstairs and stripped all my clothes off. I knew if I did not, I would get her blood on them. When I was ready, I went to the window and called her. Then I hid in the closet. You know what? I think I'm not going to read this anymore. Yeah. But he did state in the letter that he did not molest her. But I don't know if that's true because Fish was also a compulsive liar, so we won't know. So I'm a little fuzzy on how he was caught. Something about the emblem on the envelope of the letter linked him to it. What did I just say? Okay. So the cops waited outside Fish's room or his apartment, and when he came out, they're like, we'd like to talk to you. And he's like, cool, right on. Shank, he whipped out a knife on the police officer, and he was quickly disarmed and arrested. Good. I hope this person is in the deepest, darkest depths of hell. So he was arrested and charged and sentenced to death. And he was executed in 1936 by electric chair. I don't wish death upon people, but come on. I mean, you're looking at me and you're telling me you wouldn't electrocute this man to death. Apparently, though, it's a rumor, but they think that the execution lasted longer because he had so many needles in his scrotum. I think I did it. We did it. Love you guys so much. Recommend some serial killers, some fucked up shit. Gimme 'em. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always do though, so. This is art. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Hi, bitch.